When I was 12 years old, my dad got cancer. And over 2 years, I watched him slowly wither away and die. And for much of that 2 years, he spent in bed, throwing up half the day, the other half the day traveling to Princess Margaret Hospital for treatment, which I know 20 years ago or whatever was a lot more brutal than the treatments today. At least that's what they say. But I also know one thing about my dad is I don't think his treatment helped him live longer. And if he was around to do it again, I'm sure he would have just spent the time with us instead. Whatever time he was given without treatment. It just always seemed like such a waste to me that he spent the last 2 years of his life just suffering. And I know he did it for me and my brother. I know he did it because, you have that hope that if you do treatment, one day it's going to pay off and you'll be cured. I know he did it for me and my brother, and that was in his mind. But like I said, I know if he get the chance to do it over again, he would have just lived whatever months he had with us as a family and just made the most of it. And so part of that's on my mind. I mean, I don't want to go into the details of the last 6 months, but I've really, truly suffered. And just as I thought I was coming out of it, we started my year of chemotherapy where I do 5 days and then 23 days off. And I was only 3 days in. And when I hit living hell, all the problems came back that took me like 3 months to get rid of after the last round of treatment. And my life just descended back into a living hell. And so, I'm taking a lesson from my dad, and I'm walking away from standard treatment. I'm done with it. I'm going to put myself in God's hands, and I'm going to just do what I can to make the most of whatever time I have. That's my plan at this point. Now, I know everyone wants me to keep fighting. I mean, I'm going to fight the battle with proper nutrition, proper exercise, and faith. That will be my treatment going forward, unless something drastic changes. Really, the only treatment I think I'd accept going forward at this point is if the tumor grew back and it was another craniotomy. Because of all this stuff, the craniotomy was the easiest. I mean, you do the surgery, a couple weeks later, I mean, you're healing. You might have some unexpected side effects, and it's a risky surgery. But if I was down the road and significant tumor growth and they recommended a craniotomy, I'd probably do the craniotomy. But the radiation chemotherapy, I'm freaking done with this stuff, man. I would just rather have some quality of life. I'm choosing quality over quantity. So all of you subscribers who've been telling me, keep up the fight. I'm sorry if you feel let down by this, but I'm not scared. I'm not scared to die. I'm scared to live in hell. I'm not at all scared to die. I just want to make the most of the time I have with the abilities that I have, and not throw it all under a bus for some shot in the dark that I'll be like one of these guys that standard treatment actually works for. Because the truth is, for most people, it might buy you a few months, but what kind of months are those going to be? 2 days on this thing and I have another seizure on my treadmill and get all beat up. Thank God I was wearing my bike helmet at the time and I had the magnetic safety stop clipped to me, or it would have been really bad. And then I don't know how I did it, but I still took my chemo that night. And then the next night I had to take my chemo. I just couldn't do it. And I knew I was done. So I had a long talk with Lisa. And she agrees that, if I feel like this is just too much, so she supports my decision. We told the kids, a day later, after we wanted to spend a day thinking about it to make sure. The next day I woke up, I slept like a baby. I woke up, when you make a big decision, you wake up the next day, that you made the right decision, you have that feeling. I had that feeling. So informed my mother, my brother, and my extended family. And before I do this video, so now I feel like I can post and just tell the world. So, I mean, I want to thank everyone who supported me, and I want to thank my new friends Jane and Jason, who are in Australia. And Jane's Brain Story is a channel, and that's how I met her. And we had a video call on the weekend. I think we must have talked for 2 hours about our experiences with our brain cancer. So I'm going to put a link to her channel down below, and I'm going to ask anyone interested to subscribe, because I think her videos on cancer are better than mine. I mean, Lisa's been binge watching them. She really enjoys the way Jane expresses herself and shares her story. And I can tell you that after talking to Jane, she's just full of compassion and empathy for anyone else who has cancer. And her and her husband they're just wonderful people. And I feel really lucky to now be able to count them as friends. So, I mean, nobody should have to go through this alone. And much like my AFibers know, when you talk to someone else with AFib, they understand you. And it's like that with cancer too. You talk to someone else with cancer, and you feel truly understood, and you feel a connection there. So I'm very glad to have that. And so the link's below. Go give Jane a subscribe. And she has great videos. She has nice scenery because she's in Australia, and it's great videos from her. So anyway, like I said, thank you to all who've been supporting me. I hope none of you feel like I'm giving up. In fact, the people in my life I've told this decision to have actually come back with the opposite reaction, saying that they admire me and it's brave. I actually have a relative who has cancer, and he said, I want to take you to breakfast Friday, and I want to hear how you came to this decision. I want to learn from you. So it's been the total opposite reaction. Everyone in my life says it's up to me, and they totally support me because they've seen me. They've seen how bad and how much I've suffered. Even my mom, she came stayed with me for a couple months. She saw how bad I suffered, and she said, "Yeah, I don't blame you. I totally get it. I totally get it." So it's been a hard decision, and I know I'm sort of rambling now, but I feel like I just need to say more, even though I know I don't. So I guess I'm just going to call it there, and I'm just going to thank you all for your following me, and I'm going to keep making videos as I go. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do in terms of nutrition yet. I know I get lots of advice: carnivore, keto, vegan, raw food, enzymes, turmeric, manuka honey. I get a lot of advice. Honestly, I just got to be me, okay? So I'll probably end up going keto because that's a great way. I know being on a keto diet, I feel very healthy and strong. And I'd like to feel very healthy and strong, so I might just go that way. I don't know if the keto diet cures cancer. I think the evidence it does is actually pretty weak, but I don't think there's any evidence that says it hurts. So, and to me, if it can make me feel healthy and strong, that can only help fight my tumor. So, God bless. Thank you all for watching. This is your friend, Big Northern Bear, out.